There we go. Switch over here. I'm just looking at the chat for the first time. Hey, give me a quick shout out if you can hear me. I'll just clip this on here. We'll see how that goes. I don't have to hide it while I'm playing. Can you hear me all right? Oh, I better turn this off. Seems like the sound's coming through, but someone just give me a check and say, yeah, you can hear me. Ron Ham, how did you do in the 14-1 championship? I don't want to spend any time on that. I made a video last week. Just look at my YouTube channel, most recent videos, Ron. I made a whole live stream where I talked about it. I talked about the tournament and all of my matches and everything. I see now some people are asking. My very first match, I played Mario He, and I flubbed my first 2 opportunities to score points, and then he ran 162 balls. The Solar Dale looks like he has my high runs from the tournament, which is not impressive. Last year I ran a 72, and I ran a couple in the 50s and 40s. So I had a tough. I said I wasn't going to talk about it, so you can watch the thing and see it. Audio's good. All right. I'm going to play some more straight pull. That's the first real serious racks I tried to play since I got back from the tournament, which was when 2 weeks ago. So when I got back, I said I would take 2 weeks off. When did I get? I got back on the 30th, and today's the 13th. So I've hit a few balls, but I've looked at my videos, but I've studied. Like I looked at it from the point of view of studying what I did and how well I did and what I need to change. I'll tell you what. I'll tell you guys this because it's interesting. On the airplane ride home was pretty amazing. It was perfectly clear skies, and there was a little bit of turbulence for a while, but it was pretty smooth all the way. And I made sure to get a window seat on the left side of the plane, so I'm looking south as we're going. And I'd say from around, I needed a break. I would say from around the middle of Oklahoma, because they had in-flight Wi-Fi, so I turned on the map, Google Map, so it shows a little dot of where you are, so you can zoom in and see the dot of where you are moving across the landscape. It's pretty cool. And somewhere around the middle of Oklahoma, and then we went across northern New Mexico, or the panhandle of Texas, and then northern part of New Mexico, and then Arizona going in. I tell you what, guys, it was stunning. I just stared out the window the whole way. It was like 2 hours of the flight. It was just absolutely stunning. Looking at the landscape, and there's not a lot of cities, but you can see all the roads and the houses, and you can see cars moving along the roads, but you can see the landscape and the plateaus and the deserts and the mountains and the hills. It was incredible, and it put me in a different state of mind. I've been to Albuquerque, New Mexico, and there, just east of Albuquerque, New Mexico, is it Sandia? Now I want to get the right name. I think it's Sandia Peaks. Let me go look. Albuquerque is flanked on the east side by what's the name of the mountains? Sandia Peaks. And there's a scenic road, of course, that goes up to the top, and you can look out. So as we're going across New Mexico, I'm looking at the mountains. And the eastern side of Texas is plains, flat plains. And then in the eastern part of New Mexico, it transitions to more deserty and less trees and more plateaus, and then some hills and some mountains. And you can see all the drainage channels off all the mountains. And I kept looking, where's Albuquerque? Where's the Sandia Peaks? I want to see how big they are. And I kept seeing these mountain ranges come into view, and I'm like, that must be the Sandia Peaks. Nope. And that's, Albuquerque's not there on the other side. And that next one, that must be it, that one coming up. And you're in a jet. It doesn't take long for the next mountain peak to come under the plane, and each one's bigger. And I'm like, wow, that must be it. And then finally, the next mountain range, after a few of them, was just massive compared to the others. They're not all that tall. They're nothing like the Rocky Mountains, but they come up out of the ground, and everything around it is lower, and you're like, boom. And I was like, That's the Sandia Peaks. And you can see the road that curls up to the top, and then you can see the western face of the Sandia Peaks. It's really steep going down into Albuquerque. And so it's just like that. And I picked out other landmarks and stuff that I could see in places that I've been. And just incredible. Put me in a different state of mind. Just makes you think about things, think about your life. And the one thing that came to mind and that I really realized is that I needed a break. It was the first week of June this year that I took a plane trip out to Roanoke, Virginia. Some of you guys will remember that. I did a video or two about it. And I looked at a property out there to buy. And I didn't like it. And then I flew back. And that triggered the beginning of the last, let's see, June, July, August, September, October. So five months of nonstop activity. First looking for a house, trying to get a real estate agent, getting my house packed up, getting my house sold in Denver, finding a house here, arranging with the shipping company. It's just a nightmare of activity. I worked for 2 weeks on my house to get everything packed up. Then I took 3 days to drive from Denver to Arizona, excuse me. And then when I got to Arizona, when I got to this house, it was a solid month. Air conditioning, insulate the garage, insulate this, run wires, get the table set up, get appliances in there, furniture, unpack everything, set up the tool shop, build my workshop in the tool shop, set up the table saw. I'm missing a lot of the activities. And on top of that, doing my own grocery shopping and cooking. And during that first month, I ate a lot of fast food. I ate fast food every day, which was terrible. Terrible for you. And then after that, installing my solar system, doing the daily 50 videos, every single day playing straight pool, trying to practice, trying to get in shape for the tournament, stress over a lot of things you guys heard me complain about on this channel. And I realized 5 months I've been pushing. And I don't think that was good for me. I don't think that was good for my game. And I realized, man, I need a break. I can't be doing it this way. This is not the way to do it. And on the way out to the 14-1 tournament, I was reading my books. I've got several books here, printed books, and on my Kindle, on my phone, about the mental game and about how to practice, how to schedule your practice, how to approach it, things like that. And I realized I always talk about the acronym YDK. You don't know what you don't know. But you got to do something, and then you learn, and that you learn something that you didn't know, and you make that change, and you incorporate it, and then you go on, and then you learn something else you didn't know that'll help you to change again. So hopefully that's what it is. So I've had 2 weeks here where a lot of days I just did absolutely nothing and enjoyed it. But I also kept reading my books and kept organizing notes and planning and doing things, figuring out what I'm going to do. What am I doing with myself? What am I doing with the channel? This live stream tonight is mostly just the YouTube channel. What am I going to be doing? What is the future of me for straight pool? So I've got notes about everything I want to talk about today, and I'll try to go through it real quick, and then I'm going to play a little bit of straight pool, just a little, not a lot. By the way, comments, questions, just shoot them out. I'm watching the chat, and I'll stop and answer any questions you want. Other than the one I just said I'm not going to answer. It's important to me to keep it real. I've had more than one supporter email me and talk about what's important for the channel and how they think I should do things. And my niche is straight pool, and that doesn't mean I don't talk about 9-ball and 10-ball, because I do. And my niche is straight pool and then instruction, and I approach things in a different way. So in my last live stream, when I reviewed the tournament, I talked about how I want to keep working my channel and growing my channel. And so one idea is, well, talk about other games. Don't just do straight pool, do other things, blah, blah. And I think that's a mistake. I'm the straight pool guy, and I'm fine with that because that's my favorite game. That doesn't mean I won't talk about One Pocket. I will talk about One Pocket and other tournaments and other players, because straight pool isn't the only thing going on. And in fact, straight pool is the least played and least covered game out there. So, I mean, but what are you going to do? I've been an underdog my whole life. I don't care. And that's another part of the reason why I decided I want to keep the focus on straight pool, because I've talked about this before. My whole pool career, I played more 9-ball than anything else. Because if you wanted to compete and play, that's what you played. U.S. Open, Derby City, local tournaments, fooling around, little small-time gambling. You got to play 9-ball. That's what you played. So that's what I did. But I'm 61 years old now, and I don't care whatsoever about any of that anymore. Has any of you watched I'm going to read that chat in just a second. Has any of you watched, go look on Matchroom Pool Facebook page. Matchroom Pool Facebook page. Emily Fraser interviewed Earl Strickland. Cool interview. One of the things that Earl said was, it was 15 or 20 years ago, that he made a transition. He stopped gambling, and his focus was to promote pool, not just himself. And as an older guy, he's doing what he wants. And that's what I'm doing too. I'm 61 years old. I don't know how many years I have left on this earth. I'm going to do what I want to do. And if that grows the channel, good. And if it doesn't, it doesn't. But, so the focus is going to remain straight pool, but the focus is going to go largely into instruction, because I think I have a lot to share there, and everyone keeps asking me to do that. And so I will. Let me look at this chat before I continue. Yeah, so that's one of the things I was going to talk about, S3204. So I'll talk about that right now. I did a series called The Daily 50, and I did it for like 6 or 7 weeks. And I went on a live stream every single day, and the goal was simply to get a 50-ball or more run. And it was the worst thing I ever did, and it was the best thing I ever did. So what do I mean? It was the worst thing because at least 75% of my sessions, and I'm going to keep all the videos up on YouTube. You can go watch them. At least 75% of my sessions, I played poorly, and I had a bad attitude. So I would run 5 and then 10 and then miss and scratch and run 7 and 12 and then 28. And then I would bitch about, God, why can't I run more balls? This, that, the other. Embarrassing, but it's real. So I left it online so everybody can see it. That's what players go through. I'm not the only one who goes through that. I know a lot of you practice and it just doesn't work out for you as good as you think it should. What the heck, man? So there was the bad. There was also the good. I did have some good sessions. I only had, I think, 1 or possibly 2 sessions out of 7 weeks where I ran more than 50 balls on the very first break shot that I set up. I thought by the end of the daily 50, leading up to the tournament, I would be running 50 balls within my first 3 attempts every time. And that never happened. And that upset me. But on the good side, I did get some very good runs, some 70s and 80s and 90s. And I ran, I should have had the stats ready, but it doesn't matter. I'll cover it later. I ran, I think, 6 or 7 100-ball runs during that period. Almost an average of 1 per week. Now, to put that into perspective, I have run over 100 balls 19 times in my life. I ran, the very first time I ran over 100 was over 20 years ago, and I think it was 137. And then after a while, I took a 10-year break and I came back to straight pool. And I had run, I think, over 100 maybe 5 or 6 times, I think, just 5 or 6. And then I think my 7th or 8th time was the book that I published 2 years ago with David Sheasley. And I was in the pool hall every single day in Denver, in the pool, every day, recording myself trying to run 100 balls so that we would have a 100-ball run to put on the memory stick that comes with my book. Here's a 100-ball run. And I did a commentary all the way through it. But I was in the pool hall for weeks, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks. I don't know how long it took. And finally, I was able to run a 124-ball run on video for my book. In the last 2.5, 3 years, I've been working hard on my fundamentals, changing everything about my game. So there's been ups and downs, a lot of ups and downs. But in that course of time, I ran over 100 balls another 5 or 6 times in a 2 or 3 year period. And then just in the last month and a half, last 2 months, I ran over 100, I think 7 times, about once a week. And that brought me up to 1,900 ball runs. So I did improve in that sense. That was good. That was a good thing. And I'm going to do a video where I compare a crappy day during my daily 50 to the 150 ball run, and maybe a couple of my other hundreds. So we can look at them objectively and say, what was I doing different between those? I think I know what it is, but I'll put together that video. So doing that daily 50 was a good thing. It was a bad thing in the sense that it's the wrong way to practice. And I didn't think it would last that way. I thought it would improve, but it never did. What I mean is, I'm trying to run a lot of balls, trying to run 50 balls. So I set up a break shot and shoot. And if you miss or fail at some point, you just re-rack the ball, set up another break shot, and go again. Well, if you do that for 2 or 3 hours or 4 hours, as I did quite often, you're reinforcing bad habits. You're reinforcing the things that cause you to not run 50 balls or whatever your goal is. And that was a really, really hard acorn to get hammered into my brain. And so I'm gonna start a series right now called Road to 200, because I want to run 200 balls. My high run now is 151. Will my next high run be over 200? I don't know. It might be less than 150. I'd love to get over 150. But the focus can't be on the number. That's one of the things. It has to be on the execution of every shot. You can't run 150 balls. You can't run 200 balls until you've run 14 and got on the break shot. And then repeat, 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 repeat. And so during this 2 weeks that I've taken off after the tournament, I took another close look at myself, at my fundamentals and everything, and I've refined a little bit, and I'll make a video about that, about what I changed. Actually, I'll talk about it right now. I've got it on my list. And so when you change things, you got to expect to play better before you play worse. Things are going to dip before they go back up. That's the theory, and it's held true as far as I can tell in my training. And so I'm going to do a Road to 200, but it's not going to be like the daily 50. Obviously, I want to run 200 balls on a live stream. That would be awesome. But I want to run 200 balls for myself. I would like to do it before the end of the year. That's going to be the goal. But I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do run attempts every day. Part of the reason is I need the training that drills and other routines do to keep reinforcing my fundamentals, because that's what it's all about. The last 2 rack of the weeks that I made, I talked about Mario He, who won the straight pool tournament. And just go watch his matches. Every single shot, he executes every single step of his fundamentals every single time. And I don't, but all the top pros do. And I haven't up till now, but I am going to. That is my new process. No shortcuts ever. And it's really interesting because I've preached that. I've given people lessons, beginners and intermediates, where I talk about that. There's no easy shots. You got to do everything on it. And it's one thing to mouth it, and it's another to really actually do it 100% of the time. And that's probably the biggest thing I learned during this tournament, during the last tournament. My performance wasn't what I wanted, for sure. And I know it wasn't what a lot of you were hoping for me. But I've thought about it a lot. I'm semi-retired. I don't need this. I don't have to play pool. I could just make instructional videos and rack of the week videos and not play at all, except for the instructional videos where I'll shoot a shot here and there to demonstrate things. I don't have to play. I don't have to go and play in that tournament next year. I can just take it easy and have fun. I got tons of projects to do in my workshop, in the garage, and other things. I don't have to do this. And that's the one thing I thought about on the plane on the way back to Arizona. Do I want to do this? And why? Chuck, was not what you can do. Yeah, it wasn't what I can do. And the end result of all that is I do want to do this. My health is still good. I can still get around the pool table. It's not what it was. My endurance is not what it was. But that's another one of my goals that's on my list that I'm setting for myself, is to get in shape. So I lost like 10 pounds from my heaviest weight ever, which I had in Denver. And I need to lose another 15 or so and get in shape. And that's also something I need to do to play better pool. So as long as my health is good, I'm never going to use my age as an excuse. As long as my health is good, I'm going to keep playing. Irving Crane won a championship in his 70s, and he was a tall guy too. So I'm never going to use that as an excuse, but I'm going to play as long as I can. And playing helps your health too. I don't have any delusions about winning the tournament or being a pro. That's behind me. I'm too old for that. Efren Reyes retired at 65. Earl Strickland is still playing. Earl Strickland is like 1 year or like 9 months older than me, and he can still play really good, but not the way he used to. And it's just an age thing. But I think I can do this straight pool, and so I'm going to keep trying. And I want to play the tournament next year, and I'm going to train properly. And so I just have a brainstorm list of a lot of things to do, but it's going to become more concrete and a better training session. And this time, I won't have the whole moving from one state to another right before the tournament. So hopefully that'll help. So Road to 200, I'm going to do it 4 times a week. That's it, 4 times a week. And I can't tell you when. I'm not going to schedule them. I'll just go live. And of course, the video will be saved, so anybody can watch it after the fact. But I know some of you guys get alerts, and you're able to tune in when the alert comes over that I'm live. And so it'll be kind of like the same schedule I kept for the Daily 50, but only 4 days a week. There's 3 ways to do it. Limit myself to 10 innings. And if I don't run over 28 balls in 10 innings, then the live stream's done. I don't get to keep trying. And I don't get to keep trying after I turn the live stream off either. You go back to practicing drills. My attempts at running 200 balls is 4 times a week, and that's it. It's an invitational tournament, and if you're not a pro, a pro who makes their living doing it, you need to pay the entry fee and a donation. So there, and you have to be able to demonstrate some competency. They don't want a player who can't even run 1 rack to go to the tournament. You have to be able to play some. So there's 3 ways to do it. Limit to 10 innings, limit to 2 hours. The run has to start within 2 hours. And the other way is how many innings to get to 150 points total. And that's really similar to what little Chris is doing right now. Usually, he hasn't done it lately, but he was doing live streams where he's trying to run balls in straight pool. His goal is to get to 100, and he was adding up the number of innings that it takes to score 100 points in total, and then looking at his average. So that's a great way to do it. And I'll probably continue to use little Chris's scorekeeper program. And so I think I'll try a variation of these and see which one I like. I think I like the, I shouldn't say 150, I should say 200. Number of innings to score 200 points in total. So the first time I do it, it might take, I don't know, let's say it takes 10 innings. So it's an average of 20 points per inning to get to 200. And then over a week or 2, maybe it'll get down to 10 innings. That's an average of 40 balls, or I'm sorry, 5 innings. That's an average of 40 balls. See what I mean? And get better and better. And so the goal is to get to where it takes 1 inning to get to 200. Okay. It's all about, and I've showed the charts before, it's all about reducing the percentage of your attempts that end in 28 points or less. And that's not just true for me. That's true for anyone who's playing straight pool, whether your goal is to run 50 or 100 or the new record, 715. If over 50% of your attempts end in runs of 28 points or less, then the runs that are over 28 are just accidents. You need to get that percentage of runs that are over 28 or that are under 28 needs to be less than 50% of your attempts. So I'm going to be charting that number as well. So that way, more than half the time, you're getting into the third rack. And if you're getting into the third rack, that's your initial break shot, then the break shot for the second rack and the third rack. So it's 3 break shots and continuing to shoot. Now you're shooting most of the time is not an accident. It's whatever your skill level is. And that's why John Schmidt's BPI for doing attempts was, I don't remember what, it was over 80 points per inning. Can you imagine that? The number of innings that John Schmidt scored 28 points or less was like 20% of the time. And then other players that I tracked are like 30% of the time. And that's the only way. That's what you got to look at. So that's why running, just trying for 4 hours straight is the wrong thing to do. It's the wrong thing to do. That's the reason why. I've not played pool since 1967 or a few years. Anyway, probably not. Yeah, 29 or 30 from the break. Very good. Anytime you get over 28, you're doing good. But the point is, you got to shoot 10 innings and then see how many of the 10 you get over 28. That's what you got to do. All right. What's the process for? Oh, yeah, I already answered that. Okay. All right. So let me look. So that's what I'm going to do. That's number 1. Road to 200 live streams. Number 2, more instructional videos. I just want to show you. That's one list. That's another list. That's another list with some more comments there, and another list there, and another list here, and a typewritten list here. Those are all ideas for instructional videos that I've written and not done. I did a poll before I went to the tournament about what video to do next. A video about Efren Reyes or a video about how to shoot straight. So those are the next 2 videos. And the video about Efren is going to be released this week. And then close after that is a video called How to Shoot Straight. Who's that? G-Man! How you doing, buddy? This video will be published so you can go watch it. Watch what I said up till now. So those are the next 2 instructional videos. But I want to get on a more regular schedule. And I'm not going to say what that is yet because I don't know. We'll see what I can do. Because I have an entire life outside of YouTube and pool as well. So we'll see what it amounts to. But I want to grow the channel. And the way that I think I'm going to do that is more regular instructional videos. All kinds of topics. And a lot of you have sent in suggestions. My email address is in the description of all of my YouTube videos. bob@shortstoponpool.com. So I'm open to suggestions. If you want to email them to me about instructional videos you'd like to see, anything that anyone sends me goes on the list. I can't promise when I'll do it, but it all goes on the list. We've talked about this before. There's other channels. The biggest ones are Little Chris and Charivari and Dr. Dave. And then there's Pool and Billiards. There's a few other smaller ones. Niels Fine and Darren Appleton both do videos, not real regularly, but somewhat regularly. Everyone has a different approach. And I have my approach. And I'm not going to try to identify what it is because then I'll only stumble over that. I've just got to be myself. If I just be myself, that's my approach. And it's different than everyone else's. And I think every pool player who's trying to learn how to play better is going to benefit by watching all those guys and girls. Jennifer Beretta posts videos all the time. Watch anybody you can. You'll gain more information from some than from others, but everybody's different. So I have my niche, and I'm just going to keep being me. But I'm going to try to produce regular instructional videos. Yeah, send me some emails. That's fine. All right, what else? Let me go through my list here. Let's see. I'm going to try some YouTube, some POV. I got a GoPro that I've tried this a couple times, but it hasn't worked well. So I haven't done many videos where I put this on my forehead and then you can see what I'm seeing when I'm shooting. So I'll be doing some of that. I talked to Chris the other day and he gave me some advice about how to make those better. So I'll be trying that. What else? As I said, I read those books. During the Daily 50 live stream, I talked about mental training and setting a schedule for drills and stuff like that. And I made a half-hearted attempt at it, but I never did it. And I've got to do that if I want to get better. You know, I'll just ask him, you know, how often do you think Shane Van Boning practices? You've probably seen live streams of him playing and practicing. How about Earl Strickland? How about Joshua Filler? Name whatever top pro you want. And just get them to think, oh, he probably practices this often, 8 hours a day, 10, how many days a week? 5 days a week, 6 days a week. Okay, so we know those pros practice that much. How often are you going to practice? Kind of flip it around real quick and just turn that magnifying lens on yourself. If you practice 2 hours a day, 5 days a week, how do you expect to get as good as Joshua Filler? You're not going to. You're just not going to. Unless if you're some savant, it's not going to happen. So, and that doesn't mean that, well, it just means set realistic expectations. And if you want to be the best in the world, quit your job and start playing 10 hours a day because that's what it takes. So I'm going to make a better schedule so that I can be as good as I can be with the time I have. And that's going to include mental training. And I'll probably make some videos where I talk about that, what I'm doing, as far as how to practice properly and then the mental process. Yeah, that's one of my goals, to get to 100,000 subscribers, and I have 28,000. It was not that long ago when I crossed over to 25. I think it's been like 3 months. Right now, it's been growing by like 1,000 subscribers a month. I expect every single week, I expect my subscriber count to flatten out because most players don't care about straight pool. So why are they watching me? But it keeps going up. And I know that when I look at my analytics, it's because of the instructional videos that I do. And that's why I'm going to do more of those. So, all right. Run attempts, instructional, live stream training. I'm going to do some live stream training where I do some drills. I'm going to be keeping a journal, and I'll talk about those. I have 2 ideas for books. And so that's going to take some of my time too. One of them is I'm going to dive deep into the break shot in straight pool. Because landing on a break shot well and then executing it well is the key to long runs. Because if you can get the balls open, I'm not going to say spread over the whole table, but if you can get them open in a certain way where there's fewer problems, any good straight pool player can manage that rack and get on the next break shot. So what I want to do, I mean, if you have my book, I've already gone deep because I have 2 chapters and over 100 examples of break shots in my book. But all those are broken down by position of the break ball and then the cue ball and then how you hit it. The next level of analysis is what happens to the rack. And I've started to notice patterns as I've done the Daily 50. I see a lot of patterns repeating. The balls that are on this side of the rack go here and here. The corner ball goes there. This ball goes to the bottom rail and back up and re-break. I'm seeing these patterns. Now, maybe I'm crazy and it's random. Everyone treats the break shot at random. They just hit it hard and hope. Well, they hit it hard with control the way they know supposed to, whether it's draw or foul or whatever. But they're treating the results of the break shot as random. And I know that the old timers didn't do that because they wouldn't try to smash the rack. They would nudge balls out, and they knew which balls would come out to where, and they would play position for them and then shoot a re-break shot. But I think in modern equipment, we can do that as well. But I think with modern equipment, the balls open better. So I think with some analysis, and this is going to be a huge project, but I've already got ideas on how to do it, and I was going to say hundreds, I probably have thousands of racks on video, racks opening, and I can categorize them by where the cue ball hits the rack ball, and then trace where the balls go. So that's a project I want to do, and that'll become a book. And yeah, I mean, if it's true that there are patterns that we can control, that's going to change the game of straight pool. And I'm not going to say that again because that's really pompous. But I bet there's some pros who have already noticed lots of patterns. I bet John Schmidt and Thorsten Hohmann already know and they're not sharing, and I can't blame them. But I want to take an objective look. I'm never going to play as good as those guys, but I've got a brain, and I can analyze and teach. Yeah, people want to learn. I'd love to see a pro run over 1,000 balls before I leave this world. Maybe I can help some one of them do it with this book. We'll see. Anyway, and then another one is a book that I've had. I have notebooks that are over 20 years old with ideas for this book, and it's about positional routes. So you watch the commentary on any 9-ball or 10-ball tournament, and the announcers talk about, oh, now he's got to bounce off the rail and come across the table. Oh, now he's got to go 2 rails out of here and over to here, blah, blah, blah. And they treat everything as if it's new and it's random. But again, it's not. It's 2 squares. It's 2 50-inch squares with pockets in all the corners. There's only so many options. And so my idea for another book is to categorize somehow all positional routes and in a useful way. Because if you just have a book that's 300 pages long with all that information, it's not usable. It's got to be organized in a way that a beginner or intermediate or advanced player can look at it and go, oh, that makes sense, and I can apply that to what I'm doing. So that's another book idea I have that I'm going to be working on. Doesn't seem random from Little Chris's break videos. Yeah, it's not random. Same thing. There was a 10-ball tournament. I don't remember what it was. There was a 10-ball tournament where they had breaking rules, like they had to break from inside a box. There was some rules. And so the players were all breaking a certain way, the same kind of way. And all the balls were going over to the side of the table opposite from where they're broke. And the 10-ball was doing the same thing. The 2 balls at the top of the rack, the head ball and the 2 balls at the top, were taking the same route every time. So the distribution was random, but the general overall pattern, it was the same every break, every break. Once in a while, one of the players would sledgehammer the break, and you'd get a more even distribution. But the way they were hitting it to pocket balls in that tournament required a softer break, and it was a 10-ball tournament, and the balls were going the same place every time. And the announcers never mentioned it, and I was yelling at the screen going, man, it's the same thing as last rack. So there's patterns, I guarantee it. And there has to be patterns because it's a finite playing surface. Yeah, those clay balls and the slower cloth is definitely a challenge. So that's that. Another series I want to do. I want to take the Billiard University exams, Dr. Dave Elkiator's exams. So maybe I'll organize a night of the week or something where I do a live stream, because I got to do it live stream. Otherwise, I can cheat. I could make a recorded video and cheat so I get a perfect score or something. So I'll probably look at each exam before I do it and practice it. But then I'll do a live stream, and whatever I score in the live stream, that's my score. So I want to do that. That'll be cool. I think that'll be fun and interesting. And I'll have my microphone so I can talk about what I'm doing and what I'm experiencing. Another thing I'm going to do, and I don't know if I'm supposed to announce this, so I'll just say it real quick, but I talked to Little Chris the other day, and we talked about doing a straight pool challenge where we do we do a live stream where both of us are live at the same time, and we each shoot a rack of straight pool. We alternate racks and see who gets to a point total first and wins. That'd be fun. We'll see if it happens. I don't know. A lot of things to organize. Drills. I'm going to be doing videos where it's part of instructionals where I'm talking about drills. And my approach, you're going to find my drills are different because if you look up drills on Niels Fine's channel or any of these other channels, Charivari, it's always a pattern of balls and it's always 9-ball oriented. Let's see if you can run out these balls in this way. And Darren Appleton does the same thing. And those drills are great, and I encourage you to do those drills. Great for your game. But you're going to find my drills are different. My drills are such that you set up an object ball in a certain position, and then a cue ball in a certain position, and then you shoot. You want to pocket that ball and play position to different areas of the table, one after the other. Then you move the cue ball a little bit, and you do it again, and then move the cue ball a little bit and do it again. It's a different type of drill. I also do the L drill and different lineup drills and different things like that. But you're going to find I think I have something to share, so I'm going to do some drills videos for my instructional videos. Anyone who wants to send me suggestions, I'm sure I'll talk about it in my video about how to shoot straight, but I want to talk about how to stay down. I'm going to make an instructional video just about that. And I think I'm the most qualified person on the planet to talk about it because I have always risen up on my shot. And I've done it in there's different types of rising up on your shot. There's rising up before you stroke. There's rising up during the stroke. There's rising up a little bit. There's rising up a little bit after. There's moving your head. I've done every kind of movement there is. And it's been a real struggle to keep training to try and get myself absolutely still through the whole thing. And I've gotten all kinds of advice over the years, shooting with your eyes closed, picking a target that's just over the rail so you keep that in sight while you stay down. There's all kinds of techniques, and I'll put that in the video. But I'll also share in what works, what I'm finding to work for me, all the steps to train yourself to do it. And it will be the most comprehensive video about how to stay down on your shots ever. Because it's not just about staying down. So if anyone has any suggestions about a technique that you use to stay down on your shots, send it to me, bob@shortstoponpool.com. I probably have already heard of it, and even if I have or haven't, I'll put it in the video. Creating break balls, like manufacturing break balls. Yeah, I know that's on my list already. I'll put it on it again, but I know it's on there. How to manufacture break balls. I want to, and I'm gonna look through the videos from this latest straight pool tournament for examples of that, of the pros manufacturing a break ball, because there's some good ones. I was a spectator. I watched matches the whole tournament. If I wasn't playing or practicing, I was watching a match, and I commentated on 3 of the matches. Last year, my focus was different. This year, I was looking at different things and noticing different things. And I watched some good play, some strategy where they were manufacturing break balls. So I'll make some videos about that. S3204. Go to shortstoponpool.com and buy my book if you don't have it. Because like I said, I've got a chapter in there about making break balls, which includes a lot of videos of me shooting shots that make break balls, and along with how to shoot break balls. But I'll do more instructional videos about it as well. What else? Send me some advice for a slogan. If you guys remember, when I started this channel, I had a little cartoon logo. It was a ball. It was a cartoon character of me dressed up like a baseball player, and then it had a 14 and a 1 ball and a number 1 on my jersey. So it was the 14 ball with a 1 in my jersey for 14-1, and then it said shortstop on pool, and that was pretty fun. But I simplified it since then to the SSOP over a triangular rack, because I make wooden racks and sell them too. And I'm going to stick with that logo because I've had that long enough. I've transitioned away from that cartoon logo to the wood rack with the SSOP. But I wouldn't mind, so a lot of times you're going to see just the logo. And whenever you see that, whether it's TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, wherever you see it, if you see that logo, that's me. It's a trademark logo. But I also think in some contexts, to help market the channel and grow the channel, I need a slogan. And so there are times where I might display that logo larger, and underneath the bottom of the rack, it'll have my slogan. So if you think about, I don't know, I don't have a lot of good examples. There's one, I watch a YouTube channel, I watch some sailing channels, and there's one called White Spot Pirates. It's this woman who's solo sailing around the eastern side of, the western side of Central America. And all of her videos, she's talking about, she signs off all of her videos the same way. She says she's talking about something, and then she goes, but more about that next time. And that's how she signs off all of her videos. So it's kind of a slogan and a catchphrase for her channel. And lots of channels have the same thing. I watch SV Delos as a sailing channel, and they have that song, which I can't remember the lyrics to right now, and that's kind of their slogan. What's a slogan for me? I can't think of one. But like a catchphrase or something that I can put under my logo, something that I might use to sign on or sign off on every video. Send me some ideas if you have any ideas. A little jingle, yeah, something. I have stickers for sale. I have a website, satoriflatrack.com, and that's where I sell my pool racks. But if you go to satoriflatrack.com, there's a menu that says SSOP gear, and if you click on that, I've got t-shirts for sale, but also stickers. If you click on the sticker, you'll see this, and it's let me grab them. Here they are. Well, you've seen it. Oh, let me get rid of this thing. Here's my cell phone, and I've got a sticker on the back of my cell phone. And I have a sticker on my case, and you could put a sticker on your car or on your shirt or whatever. So are you interested in that? Go to satoriflatrack.com, and I've got stickers for sale, and there's $3. If you become a patron or a YouTube supporter, which is either $2 a month or $5 a month, you get a sticker for free. But if you just want a sticker, just a peel-off back sticker. They're about 3 inches wide. And I have stacks of them. So they're for sale soon. Real soon, because I want to get it on my website before Thanksgiving, for the holiday season. So when you go to my website, satoriflatrack.com, there will be a menu item for my new product, and it's an aiming product. I call it the Ghost Aimer, and that's all I'm going to say about it. But that'll be coming up. I've gotten some products or some materials in the mail. I've got my glue. I did a lot of research to figure this out. It's called Weld On. So it doesn't take a lot, but this is the best product. It's a real powerful product. It sets up in less than a minute, and so it's for gluing the acrylic pieces together. And that's all I'm going to say about that. But probably next week, I still have some more materials to come in, but next week, the materials are arriving this week, and I'll put together a couple samples, and I'll make a video and a short video about them, and I'll make an ad video and put them on my satoriflatrack.com website, and they will be for sale. They're going to be $25 with free shipping. So that's just a little tease about that. Look forward to that. What else? Damn Miss has always been the start of the highest run. Yeah. In the early 1990s, a 9-ball handicap tournament gave Corey Deuel the 7. He was in his teens. Lessons by Jimmy Karras. Also, years later, saw a vid. He was running over 100 balls at the time then. This blows me away, because people would say that players like Jimmy Karras and especially Willie Mosconi would run 100 balls every time. Now, maybe they were playing on a 4x8 table with big pockets. And at their skill level, I can see that happening. I don't think it's possible on this equipment, because you got the best in the world. Jason Shaw, Shane Van Boening, John Schmidt, and they don't run 100 every time, not on this equipment. Not even on a 4.5 by 9 with 5-inch pockets. They don't run 100 every time. But when they get a run going, boy, they can extend it. How about wherever you go, there you are? Maybe my slogan should be YDK WYDK. So that's kind of a tease. What does that mean? I don't know. Yeah, John, if you want to send me a message, send me an email. I'm curious what your lessons by Jimmy Karras were like. What did he tell you? What did he teach you? What did you learn? What did he teach that maybe doesn't apply today on the different equipment? Or is that true or is that false? What do you think? Send me a message. Get in physical shape. I'm going to be doing shorts, some more shorts, but not a lot of them. And then point of view. Okay, I covered everything. Does anyone have any questions? I know some of you missed my daily 50 because that got to be a habit. I was doing it all the time, every day, sometimes twice a day. I'm going to play some straight pool right now. Same format as always. I'll put up the scorekeeper line on the top and keep score. How did I do that? Oh, I didn't have the overhead view. I turned the overhead view off so I could put the scorekeeper in there is what I did. That's right. I think that's what I did. I don't know. Anyway, I'm not going to play a long time tonight. Not a long time at all. But I've got my microphone on. Let me clip it under my shirt so it doesn't bounce around while I'm playing. Whoops. Yeah, okay. And I'll talk about what I'm doing. I'll talk about some of the changes. That's the one thing I didn't talk about. I was going to go over. Oh, Corey was getting the lessons. Okay. All right. What are the changes that I'm trying to incorporate after this straight pool tournament and that I should have been doing? You can't play perfect from the beginning. You have to do what you can and get to a level and then look at yourself again and set a new goal and then work again and refine some more. So it's a process where you keep refining and getting better. So I'm not listening to my own. When I watched a lot of my daily 50s, I wasn't listening to my own advice. Oh, how come that text went back on? Oh, I probably had that on the whole time and didn't even notice. Okay, whatever. I wasn't even listening to my own advice. So I'm making a concerted effort to do the 4 moments of stillness. So if you haven't heard of that, search my YouTube channel for moments of stillness. You'll see the video. There's 4 moments of stillness. Shot entry, when you're standing up before you get on the shot. You get down on the shot and address the cue ball and you're still there. You do your warm-up strokes and you pause again and you're still there. Then you do shot delivery where you shoot the ball and you're still again for the 4th time. There's 4 moments of stillness on every shot. And I've been ignoring the last 3. Not ignoring. I've been fooling myself into thinking that I'm doing them well enough, and I'm not. So that's the one thing. Better head position and alignment. If all you do is shoot pool in games and just fooling around practice by yourself, your fundamentals will deteriorate. And that's what happened to me. You have to do practice where you're shooting drills and drills that test you to make sure you're still doing your process and your alignment correctly. You have to do those on a regular basis along with whatever practice games or competitions that you're shooting. And that's why I'm going to be doing that. But in concert with that is alignment, is getting my shoulder where it needs to be in my head. So I'll talk about that while I'm shooting straight pool here now. Slow backstroke. I've talked about it a lot, and I'm incorporating it more and more. When I first heard about this, I took a lesson with Mark Wilson, and he taught me a lot of things, and I trained as I could. I trained in the things he taught me, but the very last thing that I worked on was a slow backstroke, and I probably should have incorporated it much earlier. Mark Wilson teaches 1.2 to 1.8 seconds for your backstroke, for your shot delivery rather. That means you're at cue ball address when you're ready to shoot. Your hand comes back. I'm not on the screen. Your hand comes back, and then you shoot. So the time from address back till your cue tip hits the cue ball, 1.2 to 1.8 seconds. And if you've never timed yourself, that is monumentally slow. When I first timed myself, I was like 0.5 seconds, half a second. And it took a long time to get me just 1 second from address back and hit the cue ball 1 second. And today, I'm more consistently achieving 1.25 seconds, 1.25 seconds. So I'll talk about that while I'm shooting too. And I'm going to make a video about why I think it's so important. No elbow drop. I've been a no elbow drop proponent for a long time. I've made videos about it and talked about it. But I feel in the last 2 months and in the last 2 weeks, I've gained a bigger understanding of what it means. And I'm going to make a video about that because I've talked about, elbow drop is moving your entire upper arm where you go like that, and rotating from your shoulder. But there's also a little dip, and then there's also a tinier dip. It's a deformation of your muscles. And I think the best stroke is this. The elbow stays pinned fully all the way through. And it's hard to do for several reasons. And I might talk about that a little bit here while I'm playing right now. And then shorten my bridge. I've talked about this. When I make a bridge, a closed bridge, I can't see the cue ball unless if my bridge is at least 9 inches long, if not longer. And so I shoot with an open bridge most of the time so I could see the cue ball. But I need to shorten my bridge. And that's partly because I'm a taller player. And I've actually got that advice from Jerry Briseth to shorten my bridge. Because a tall player, I've got a bigger pendulum like this. And to play pool well on today's equipment, you don't need this. You don't need this big swinging pendulum. You just need this and this. That's it. And so this is true for all players, but it's especially true for tall players. Shorten your bridge. No longer than 9 inches. 9 inches is probably way too long. 6 or 7 inches at most. And you're playing straight pool, where you're shooting short shots and you want to control the cue ball very tightly, 5-inch bridge. Shorten your bridge. And that's really hard because if I do a 5-inch bridge, if I do an open bridge, 5 inches, my fingertips, it feels like my fingertips are going to hit the cue ball. I'm that close. But it's made a huge difference. So I'm getting used to how to play with a shorter bridge, a pinned elbow, better rotation, better head position. And probably most people, when they watch me play, wouldn't notice the difference. But those of you who watch me close enough, you'll notice. And then I'll talk about it a little bit right now. I better go look at the chat. Wouldn't that be when you're all the way back and then stroke? No. 1.2 to 1.8 seconds. The timer starts when your cue tip moves back from the cue ball from address. And then the timer ends when the cue tip hits the cue ball. That's your stroke delivery. It's a backstroke and then a delivery with a follow through. But the timer is the backstroke and the forward, and that's it. Are you going to order more Dark Side of the Rack t-shirts? I don't think I can do it. Maybe I don't know. I'll have to think about it. I designed a really cool shirt. Should I show it to you? I'm going to show it to you because it's really cool. And I'll explain it. I'll explain why. Hold on. I did my laundry yesterday, so I know the shirt is right here. You think that shirt's cool? What do you think of this t-shirt? It says pool, roll the balls. Obviously, that's a play on the Rush album, Roll the Bones. So I took it into took an album cover into Photoshop and made it say pool instead of instead of roll the bones. The problem with this is I can't sell it. I can make it for myself. It's just artwork. And if I create it and have a t-shirt company print it, then I can wear this t-shirt. But if I put this t-shirt up on a website for sale, the record label for Rush will contact me and say, "You're in trouble, son," because that's their album cover. I can't do it. And I think it's the same thing for that Dark Side of the Rack. Now, the Dark Side of the Rack is it's a big deviation from the actual Pink Floyd Dark Side of the Moon cover. But I think it's derivative enough that the record label can say, no, you can't do that. So if you look at Pool t-shirts, for the most part, they it has to be original artwork. So, I mean, you can make a play on words for something, as long as I don't know what the rules are, but you can't just copy an album cover and change the letters around and then sell it. That doesn't fly. That's a copyright violation. So no, I'm not going to do it. I can't do it. Yeah, it depends. It's good to have a rhythm that's the same. And for most people, that's 3 warm-up strokes. And sometimes, and then on shots that are more difficult, you might take more than 3 and a couple shorter refining ones. But yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, lawyers suck. Well, but it's you can understand it. But yeah, that's why the t-shirts I have for sale on my website, they don't sell very well and they're pretty corny. So it's not something I'm really big on. I can see, would anybody be interested? Answer this. Are any of you interested in a good quality shirt, either a t-shirt or a polo shirt or one of those sports shirts that has a SSOP logo on it? So let me go get that. You guys have seen me wear this. So it's got my logo. That's I don't know how they put it on there, but it's not cheap. It doesn't wear out and it doesn't come off in the wash. That's on the shirt. This is a high quality shirt. This is by Onboard Sportswear. So Onboard makes good shirts. So it says shortstop on pool and SSOP. Okay? And then on the back, it would have your name. Like that. So this is a good quality shirt. It's the sport collar, short collar, but it's a real good shirt and it's comfortable. It's a high quality shirt. It's from Onboard Sportswear. So would any of you be interested in this shirt with your name on the back and SSOP on the front? I never thought anyone would be interested in it, but if enough of you say you like it or email me and say, yeah, I'd like one of those, I'll look into getting that organized, and maybe other gear, other shirts or other gear, caps or something. I don't know what, gloves, pool gloves, who knows? If there's enough interest. If there isn't, then it's not worth the time. So let me know. Let me know what you think. Okay, let me play some straight pool. Let me fill up my water glass, and I'll talk while I'm playing. I'm not going to play a long time. Let me see how well I do. My hotel room mood. Oh, wow, that's pretty cool that you remember that. Man, was I low. I was going to sell my table and quit YouTube and quit pool and jump off a cliff, which is ridiculous, which is all ridiculous. No, don't feel that way, Lloyd. Don't feel that way. It's not worth it. It's just a game. You've got to remember it's just a game. We choose to play it. You can't get mad about something you choose to do. And if you don't play it as well as you want to, you got to learn how to enjoy playing bad. That's just what it is. None of us are pros. None of us are world champions. We're not that good. So don't expect to be that good. Just enjoy what you got. That doesn't mean you don't try to improve, and you can improve. But it's not worth getting upset over. All right, let me play some straight pool here. Woo! Okay. Super predictable. Cue ball straight up. These balls over here to the side pocket. The 7 ball went to this rail and over here. Super predictable. And then the cue ball up here. So often you have this shot as your opening shot to maneuver. That's why that's one of the best break shots. And there's no problems on the table. 2 potential break balls, and I'll probably use the 4. You got to clear the 9 so you can shoot the 13, which sets you up for all 3 of these balls over there. But if you get a shot here, you can shoot the 11 there and then get on those as well. So the 9 ball is the key to this whole thing. There's no good key ball for the 4 ball break shot. So you might want to keep the 11 or the 5 so you can go 1 rail out or stun up or something for the break shot. If you had a better shot down table, you could preserve the 7 as a key ball because you can get an angle on that and just bounce out for the 4 ball break shot. So I need to walk. I need to look. Yeah, I'm kind of straight on the 7, so I can't do much. I might, I could try and draw down here because I might get the 11, or farther I'd get the 9, or farther I'd get the 5. So that's not a bad idea. As long as I'm not, that's not a bad idea. I don't want to shoot the 2 now because I'm going to run into the 6 and I don't know what's happening to the cue ball. It's terrible. So I got to get my cue ball over here, in here. I got to get rid of the 9 and get on these. And then before the middle of the rack or later in the rack, I'm going to want to get a shot on the 14 because the 14 is near the rail, and I'll play position here and then have the 12. So that might even be the end of the run, 14, 12, and then 5 or 11, because the 12 sets you up for these as a key ball to then come out. So it's a matter of clearing these balls, those inner balls. And how do you do that safely? So I could shoot a stop shot and get on the 8, and then maybe use the 5 to come up into that zone that I want to be in up here to shoot the 9 or something. Or I can draw straight back. So which do I want to do? I'm straight enough that I'm not going to hit the 4 ball. So I'm going to try and draw back. I can get a shot on the 10, on the 11, on the 9, or the 5. But I'm going to try to get just come past the 4 ball. Okay? I did not want to be against the rail. That's terrible. But, so I can shoot the 11 and get shape on the 5. Or I can shoot the 10 and I'll bump the 15. And then I'll have a shot on the 11 back this way. I like that a lot. What I don't like is that the 15's moving this way and I don't want to tie it up at the 12. So I either have to hit it real hard or real soft. I like soft because I might make another break ball. I saw my screen flash. What happened? Am I still online? something go away here? Oh, looks like it's still working. Oh, I got to turn off my selfie cam. Sorry, guys. I'm blocking everything. There we go. That's better. Let me look at the chat. You were like, turn off your selfie cam. Yeah, breathing does help. Okay. Now everything's wide open. There's no problem, so it's just a matter of finding the right pattern. What some people might do is use the 8 ball as a K2 to get on the 13, and then try and shoot the 13 in the side. That's terrible because you're better off using the 13 as a key ball and using one of these as a K2, because then you can get close to straight in and just slide over for your break shot. But I still like preserving the 5 or the 11. So I want to get rid of the 9. I want to get rid of the 8 is now blocking the 15. So which way should I go there? If I shoot the 11, it's no longer available as a key ball. If I shoot the 9, the 9 could be a key ball if you get right here, because you can just bounce out for the break shot. That's a good key ball. Usually I don't recommend keeping that, but it's not bad. But then you got to shoot the 13 somewhere. Why don't I go 13, 9, 11, 8? Is that a good idea? I think it's as good as any. I know how much trouble it's going to be to get that 13 ball, even with the 9 gone. So let's get rid of it now. Okay. Now I could shoot the 8 right now, but I think I'm going to get rid of the 9. I don't like it. It's tricky to get on it correctly as a key ball, so let's get rid of it. So if I draw back for the 11, I've got a small position zone. If I come back here, I'm going to have the 8. And if I come too far, I'll have the 2 and then get the 14. So let me draw back. Let me shoot the 11 later. I'm just going to come back for the 8. Okay. So 8. Just try and come up for the 15. Ooh. Well, that's not good. That's not what I wanted anyway, but this will work. So now's the time to go get the 14. And I missed the shot. So, did you see what I did there? I rose up. I was halfway over there before the 6 ball even got to the rail. So that talking takes me out of it. But I don't want to use that as an excuse. I need to learn to do this while talking too. No elbow drop. Stay down till everything stops moving. Okay. That's what caused the miss. Rising up. I could shoot the 2 ball now and then go 2, 14. No, I'm just going to shoot the 14 and come back, and then maybe I'll shoot the 2 or the 12 next. I don't know which. Okay. Okay. Yeah, sliding on the 12, and then I can bump out for the 15. Or maybe I should go 15, 12. Because all I got to do is roll forward on the 2. No, it doesn't matter. They're both good. Just get it there, whichever one you choose. Okay. Perfect. Now, which one's my key ball? If the 4 ball was over here, I would play for an angle on the 5 to hit the rail and just come straight up. But if I use the 5, I gotta come up in this direction, or get a shallow angle so I can go 2 rails. Or lay the cue ball on the rail so I can just shoot the 5 and just The cue ball won't touch a rail, it just comes straight up to here. If I don't do that, then I have to shoot the 15, shoot the 5 to come up here, and then it's going to be really tricky to get the right angle. If I get straight, it's going to be bad. If I get too much angle, it'll be bad. If I come past it, then I can shoot the 11 and go to the rail and come up. Okay, so I like the 5 better as a key ball, so I want to make sure I shoot the 15 and draw past this line. So my cue ball goes towards the 5 when I shoot the 11. Okay. Now laying the cue ball on the rail is good, but only if you're 100% sure that you can do it. Because if it hits the rail and bounces off, now you got nothing. So I can do it, and I don't want the cue ball close or far. I want it like right there. Just like that. And I'm not saying this is the best. This is just what I'm choosing to do right now. Yeah, that's okay. It's not the best, but it's all right. I think the better route there is 2 rails. The better thing to do is to shoot the 11 and have the cue ball do this. Because then you got the 2 rail route like that, which I think you can control much better. Okay, so I would have made it through that rack if I didn't jump up on that shot. That's something that has to be erased from my process completely. Straight high ball, so I don't have to worry about that. Pocket the ball. Beautiful, beautiful. See how the cue ball goes through? Didn't even touch a rail. That's a safe cue ball. I'll go look at the chat here real quick. Yep. Like I said, that's my worst enemy. This or draw this way and end up with no shot or a tough shot. 15 caroms off the 6, but you don't want to have to shoot that. So the easiest shot, I mean, really the only shot is the 13. I could shoot the 9, but then my cue ball's going crazy. Who knows where the cue ball's going, and you're ruining that potential break ball. Okay, so let's execute this perfect. That'll work. Just keep that safe. Well, that sucks that I'm over a ball. But the 13 goes. Boy, that's awful that I'm elevated directly over this ball. So I don't have much control of the cue ball. I think the cue ball is going to miss the 6 and go to this rail and probably hit the 11. If it doesn't hit it, if it comes past it, I'll have the 3, but I'm hoping it hits it. Because I don't want to baby this. You can't, when you're elevated to a ball, you can't hit it too delicate. But I'm hoping it hits it so I have the 11. So let's just make sure we pocket this ball. No English. Short bridge. Loose grip, don't tighten up. Okay. Okay, let's reevaluate. I don't mind shooting the 11 because it opens up the side pocket for the 1. I may not need it, but it's nice to have that. It's an extra ball that doesn't help anything. Well, unless if I use it as a key ball for the 8, so I might need that. I think what I want to do is shoot the 12 and just come off the bottom rail up here because I'll have the 6 or one of these balls next. I don't want to be elevated over the 7, but let's try and get the cue ball up here where I can safely clear these balls. I can't. Well, I can draw back. It's another one of those delicate draws. Why don't I shoot this instead? You can get analysis paralysis too, so you want to make a decision and shoot. All right, I'm going to draw back because I'll probably have the 8 or the 10 if I don't get the 6. Okay, that's good. I'll shoot the 9. Now, I came too far to shoot the 9, or I would. And I don't have the 10, but I got the 6 now. So I can draw back and get the 9, or go to the rail and up and get it. Or maybe the 5. I don't want to be bumping a lot of balls here. So you can't just say, oh, I got the 9 next. Well, what do you got after the 9? You got to put the cue ball where you can maneuver. Okay, once the 5 is gone, the 14 goes. I could shoot the 9 as well. Too bad I can't draw back. I could shoot the 5 and loosen these balls, and I got 2 insurance balls back that way. I think I have to shoot the 5 and roll forward to shoot the 9 back that way. Oh, and then, so I'll have the angle then to shoot the 9 and run into those with the 14 back this way. Ooh, too much angle. Nope, I lost my market on that. The cue ball is going to hit the 14. Yeah, even with topspin, the cue ball is going to hit the 14 and go that way. So I kind of messed up there. But I don't have another shot unless I want to shoot the 3 ball in the corner. So the 14 is going to knock this way. The 14 might carry him off the 3 and become a better break ball, but I've got to hit it with enough speed to hit. It's going to hit the 14 and then the 7. I got to hit it with enough speed to open things up. Like that. And like I predicted, now the 14 is the break ball. And I got an easy shot on the 1. Okay, so the 8 does not pass. So this is probably one of those deals where I'll get an angle on the 3 to just bounce out for the 14. And that's fine. So the 7 blocks the 8. So I might go 1, 7, and then just bounce off the rail, shoot the 8 up there, and then get on these balls. So. Or shoot the 8 now. I came a little far there. I got too much. I got more angle than I wanted on the 7. Does shooting the 10 do anything for me? Because I'm straight on the 10. Not really. No. I don't want to draw around the 8 because I can end up behind the 11 with no shot. I think I'm just going to bring the cue ball back this way. Hopefully shoot the 10 next, because I can go 10, 2, 11, 8, and then just bounce over here for the 3. I'm not saying I'm going to do that. I'm just saying I'm keeping my cue ball alive where I have options. Yeah, so I hit it too soft, but look, there's the 11 or the 8. Okay. So now let's get on the 10 ball on the side. And then I can go 10, 2, 8 or 10, 8, 2. Or I could shoot the 8 if I got straighter on it. It wouldn't matter. I could shoot the 8 right now as well. It's not necessarily all that bad. I got a little more angle than I want, but guess what? I think it's good. Now I've got a better angle on the 10. Okay, so stop shot on the 10. Puts the cue ball right there. So even if I come back just a hair, then I've got an angle on the 2 to get on the 3. Okay. So probably about like that. Okay. right there. Hit that a little light. I want to be parallel. You know, I want the parallel angle. So I think I popped up way too soon there. So I didn't visualize this spot while I was doing my warm-ups. And then I was in too big a hurry to shoot it and pop up off the shot. So that's how you result. That's how you get the wrong angle. So that's what I'm trying to erase from my process. But I think I made it through a rack, huh? Okay, so this is that way inside angle, so straight high ball. Nice. Nice enough. Tied up ball here. Possible break ball. Hopefully I can make a better one. Actually, either one of these can be a break ball as well. As I'm looking at it, I actually don't have a really easy shot to start with here. Do I have any shot to start with? Oh my goodness, look. I got a bank shot in the side on the 5. 10 doesn't go. Does the 1 ball go? Oh, the 1 ball does go. Little tricky, but it does go. Okay. So since I'm aiming past that 4, I don't want to have to do anything with the cue ball. So I like just bringing the cue ball this way. I'll have a shot on the 11 or the 13, preferably the 13, so I can use the 13 to open these. And that's enough of a plan right now. It's all we need. So I don't think that 1 ball goes, darn it. Doesn't go. I think I have to shoot the 9-11 combo. If I wasn't elevated, I'd be shooting the 7, I guarantee you that. The 2 ball has a chance of caraming off the 3, but I don't think so. And then the cue ball is going to go loose it's just going to go wild if I try to cut the 2 ball in. Okay, so I'm on the 11. So you all know how I love combinations. What you do is you look at the 9 ball into the pocket. And that's hitting the 11 to the left side of the pocket. So that tells me in order to make this combination, I have to undercut the 9. So when I'm down on the 9 ball, I'm just looking at undercutting it. Oh shit, I don't even have that. No, I can't hit. I can't hit that much of the 9. Holy, I don't have a shot. I'm going to have to shoot this combination between those balls. Same thing. I got to shoot the 8 ball here. So the way you think about it is undercut the 8. I kind of got sideboards. If the 15 might hit the 12 or the 13 and still go in. But I'd rather make it cleanly. And there's no way I'm not going to have a shot. I'll have the 9, 11, or the 13 next. But you hate to have to start out with a shot like this. Okay. Boys, this is tough with the bridge too. All right. So I need to undercut the 8 to that part of the rail right before the pocket. And then the 15 goes in. So that's what I'm visualizing. So I'm gonna put my cue stick here and find that spot first. So if I want to cut the 8 in the pocket, that's over here. So this is cutting the 8 to that part of the rail. So you find that spot and then keep your cue there and bring the bridge in. Now feel it again. Yep, it's right there. All right. Whew. Glad that's over. Okay, so I think I want to shoot the 9 to get a bigger angle on the 13. Then I can bump these and have the 11 back there as insurance. Oh, no. I guess I could deal with those right now, but that was a total accident. Okay, so I abandoned my process there. I didn't mean to, but I did. Shot way too fast. Okay. But if I didn't have a microphone on, you wouldn't know that. I'm actually really close to this ball, and I don't have to shoot it now. So let's just shoot the 8 ball, because the 8 ball naturally comes up here. So I'm not going to try to use any of these as a key ball. 8 ball, clear these 3, and then I'll probably get a shot on the 4, and then everything's open and I have 2 break balls to choose from. Okay, 2, 7, 3. Draw back a little, and then I can get on that 4. I didn't draw back. Rushed again. Okay. I'm going to try and hold it for the 4, knowing that I'll have the 12 or the 13 if I don't. But I think I can. Yeah, I held it too much. That's what the new fundamentals do. You get more control over the cue ball than you used to have. So do I want to shoot the 4? I have to move the 1 if I do. I'm going to leave it there. I think it's going to be useful. The 11 blocks the pocket for the 10. So I've got to go probably 12, 11. So the cue ball is going to hit the 6. I'll probably just try and not do much with the cue ball at all. It's okay. So now, tap in the 11. 13 brings the cue ball up here for the 6. And from the 6, I can draw or follow and get up here, and all 3 of those balls go there. Yeah, all 3 of them go there, and then I can get on the 5 as a break ball. The alternative is leave the 13, because I can shoot these balls and get this angle on the 13, and then that's a good key ball to just slide up here for the 5-ball break shot. So if I'm going to do that, I'm not saying I'm going to, but if I do, how do I shoot this 11? I've got to spin it in so I can spin the cue ball up here and have a shot on the 1 or the 4. Do I feel like doing that? Is it worth it? Yeah. Okay. So now I've committed to that. Any of those balls is a good K2 to the 13. The 6 is even a good K2. So I don't see a need to get the cue ball over here to shoot the 6. I can shoot the 6 from over there. I have an angle to get the cue ball out. Oh, see, so looking over here, the 1 and the 10 both go over there. So I think that's my play. Well, I didn't draw the cue ball enough. I needed the cue ball up here or here, either way, and both of those go. So now I messed myself up completely. I had an ideal situation and I messed it up. That's what the pros don't do. They don't mess that up. They wouldn't have done that. They would have made sure to get the cue ball over here where I got a good shot on that 1, 4, 6. So now I got to cut the 1 thin. Do I have to go around the world, or can I hold the cue ball on the rail? Oh, this is terrible. This is terrible, because if I come 3 rails around, I'm going to come here and I'm not going to have the 6. So that was a horrible mistake. Horrible. Okay, so I got to come long. All right. I got it long enough to get the 6. No, I didn't. It's exactly what I said I was going to have. See what trouble it makes? I did not make a good decision on that ball in this pocket. Because I could have shot the 1 and played position for the 10. So the lesson there is you've got to choose a shot in a positional route that has less risk. You've got to find the least risk option. That would have been to shoot the 1 ball, slide over here for the 10, because then I can go 10, 6, 4, or whatever that was, or 10, 4, 6, either way. So making the wrong choice and then executing badly made this really tough. Now I'm going to be 2 straight on the 6 to get on the 13. I knew it. Get in there. Well, I mean, I tried to get myself an angle on that recovery shot with the 10, but it's really tough to get an angle when you're going 3 rails around the world. The only alternative from here is to shoot the 6 and use the 5 to get the cue ball like here on the 13 for a break shot, which is terrible. Oh, I missed it exactly the same way. Well, and I've talked about this before, shooting these recovery shots doesn't matter. You need to stay in line. I really want to do it because I want to play proper straight pool. So I had this, and the 10 was here, right? And then I was like this. I was really straight on the 12. And so I had to cheat it and stun it to get the cue ball out. So it's because of that, it's the wrong decision. Because I can shoot that ball the wrong way, and I'm still okay. I can shoot the 6 now and draw out. I can shoot the 10. So I still have options. But shooting the way I did, shooting the 12 and not getting good position, destroyed the rack. So I need to draw the cue ball past the 5, and then I've got 2 options. Well, I really drew it. It's not what I wanted. I mean, I wanted to draw it to the rail and out this way. So. Yeah. All right, I butchered that whole rack. So on this shot right here, normally it doesn't give me that much trouble, but my fundamentals now are such that I'm trying to shoot these with I'm going to shoot every shot with no elbow drop. And I'll talk about it when I make the video. So that's what I needed to do the first time. So I've talked about, it's all about position. Notice, that's the if. If I had gotten the correct position on any of those shots, then I would have had an easy shot and been able to clear. But I didn't get the good position. See, that's what I was trying to do. And so why didn't I get the right position? And it's paying attention to Q-tip position at address on the cue ball, checking it as you do your warm-ups, and then checking it again when you do your final pause. I talked about that when I was sitting down in front of the camera. It's all those moments of stillness where you're checking, checking, checking. That's why I didn't get good position. I just shot it fast. haven't quite hit it that hard enough, but it's doable. And that's what I noticed at the tournament. When the pros had to shoot a shot where they had to get the cue ball just right, they took their time and got it just right. That's where I want to hit the rail. I hit that too soft. Hit that too soft. Now, the reason why I'm shooting it over is because I just talked about my fundamentals. So I'm shooting with a much more conscious attention to keeping my elbow up. None of this. It's got to be this. When you do that, when you first start doing that, it feels like you understroke the ball a lot. So I've got to get in tune with that, and it has to do with your bridge distance to the object, to the cue ball. And it also has to do with the elevation of your cue. A lot of people are used, without knowing it, they feel like their cue's level, but it's elevated. And then they shoot like this to get the cue stick to go through. So if you're not dropping your elbow, you've got to get the cue level so that it does that when you follow through. And that affects exactly how you're hitting the cue ball. And that's why I understroked that shot. So part of this setup, the second moment of stillness is that. Get the cue level and stroke from there. I'm busy talking, but I hit it with the right speed because I was focused on my elbow not dropping. So now let's bring it all together. Nope. Still don't have it. Okay. Well, that's better speed, but now I don't have an angle. Okay. Enough of that talk. I'm going to look at the chat and just shoot one or two more, and then I'm done for today. I want to shoot one without talking and see if I can get a run going. Because that, I should have cleared that rack, and I had trouble here, and I had trouble there. And, okay. So there's that 4-ball cluster that always happens on that shot, over on the opposite side of the break ball. But it's easy to deal with. So 12, 11, 8, use the 6 to open those up, and I'm home clear. See, understroke that because I'm keeping my elbow up. So it's something I've still got to train on. Jeez, I really followed that straight through. Nope. I was behind the point, and I didn't want to turn around and shoot something else. See how important position is? You can't be shooting from the wrong position over and over and over. Even that's not what I wanted, but it's much better than not being able to see the ball around the point. Okay, I don't have an angle to touch to open those. And I don't mind this. Because of the 3 ball. Oh, I thought I was going to move the 14 more. I think I moved it enough. I think I can get it right here. But I wanted to move it a little more so this opened up. Not quite what I wanted again. That's not what I wanted. Need to be close to straight in on that. So there I go again. It's not a great decision to use this ball in the side as a key ball, but I felt I had to because I needed to get the 9 out of there. And I was a little shallow on this. So that's the right way to hit it. I tried to float up. The right way to hit it is to go to the rail and up, and then you get the angle you need. So that was a decision error and execution error. So this isn't great in the side as a key ball because you got to get just right. But it's what I played. Yeah, I didn't come over enough. Yeah, so this is the type of thing that frustrated the hell out of me during the daily 50 because I would do this all the time. The balls were perfect. They were laying just perfect, and I'd found a way to mess it up. No, that's not the shot. That's just me being frustrated. I Okay, I'm gonna take this microphone off my shirt to get rid of the desire to speak. Good action from the cue ball and everything. Stop talking. Yep. Don't bump balls in the middle of the rack. Terrible decision. Way out of line. Full recovery mode here. I hit my brake ball. Try to do that. That's what I was afraid of. That's way too hard. Why did it? Well, I nudged the 13 is what it did, and that created the wrong angle. Gosh darn it. I thought it was drawing it past the 13, so just to the rail now. cue ball back. And I noticed it right at the end that I wasn't doing that. I shot it anyway. Makes me nervous because you don't want to draw the cue ball all the way back to the table. Well, I drew the cue ball back, but still didn't get there. So, I'm outlining my key ball. Right? If I drew that ball and had this shot, so it's a stop shot, shoot that in the side, and come up and I have the cue ball here for my break shot. Right? But I screwed it up, and I ended up shallow instead of here. Here, here. So, same thing, position, not getting the position you need. That's what makes this game so brutal. That's how to do it. That's right. Uh-huh. Yeah. Barely made it. I hit the rail here. Cue ball. Gerald, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? little soft. I need to come over a little farther. Too short. Too short. I want to be up here. I hit the rail here, and I'm trying to get it up here. Oh boy. No good. Cross side. That's not what I wanted. Trying to come up into those. Too far. Stop here. Oh, come on. Okay, that was the wrong shot. That was a terrible shot. Terribly executed. That's the right shot. This. Decision error. And I had a run going. Not time to evaluate the options of what I'm doing. I almost got into the third rack. Almost doesn't count though. You keep all the stuff here, and then I can bump the 9 over, and then let's do go. Came that too far, just gotta stop here. Why does that happen? Do the side. Well, I would think that you can see here that I need to work on my drills. I don't need to, I don't need to know anything new about straight pull. I just need to get the cue ball where it needs to go. And I'm not confident in it, and some missed shots in there too. But you can see it's all. That's what it is. It's not a hard problem to diagnose. It's a hard problem to get your consistency to where you shoot the shots you want and get the cue ball where you need it to go. Oh, you know what? I wasn't even paying attention, Chris. It was in the 28 range. I probably didn't make it past 28. I was probably like 25, something like that. So I haven't been playing. I'm not going to make any excuses. It is what it is. I've tweaked my fundamentals a little bit, so I'm a little not confident. So there's another excuse, but excuses are worth exactly zero. So I'm going to be working on fundamentals, drills, and I may do a live stream where I don't do any high run attempts. I just do some practice and talk about my fundamentals, the changes I made. It was very small, but very important. And I think it's going to lead to getting my percentage down. Percentage of runs under 28 have got to get below 50%. Yeah, it's hard to not have an opponent. Maybe I'll go to Main Street Billiards on Monday and try and find a game. I know there's a couple straight pool players. Mitch Ellerman, I don't know if he's back from Vegas yet, but he might be there. I'll try and find a game. But that's not an excuse either, because if I'm going to do a solo high run attempt, I'm going to be doing it here on my home table where the pockets are kind of soft and by myself. So I need to do both. I need to do both and all of the above. Basically, that's it. So that's where I'm at. You can see where I'm at, and I made a good summary earlier about what I'm going to be focusing on and what I'm going to be doing. Here's all my notes about that. So I'll be putting together the schedule in the next day or two. Tomorrow I'm going to start working on my video about Efren Reyes, and let's see. And then later this week and then after the Efren Reyes video, I'll be working on a video about how to shoot straight. The dailies in Oregon. I've been all over the country. The only states I haven't been to, Alaska, Hawaii, Oregon, and Washington. Those are the only states I haven't touched a toe in. So I'd like to do that. Maybe later this year or summer, I'll make a trip up there. We'll see. That'd be a good summer trip because I can escape the heat of Arizona and it'll be cooler up there. So thank you, Bill. I may take you beyond that. Yes, I will play better. Like I said, anytime you change something, you're going to play worse before you play better, but you got to work through it. That's what it takes. So that's what I'm going to be doing this week. I am not going to do a straight pool high run attempt until next Monday, but I will do one Monday, and then it'll be 4 days a week. So this week I'll be working on videos, and I'm going to be practicing. And I might go live with one practice session. We'll see. I haven't decided yet. All right, that's all I'm going to do. And if someone has a question or comment, that's going to be it for tonight. Wow, I can't believe it feels to me like it's been an hour and a half. It's been 3 hours. I guess when you do something you love, the time just flies. It doesn't feel like any time at all went by. So that's enough for today. You guys know where I'm at. See you later. Signing off. Bye.